My name is Tisha Weir, and I am the director of the Raising My Voice program, which is a program that is a part of Bridges Reentry. Raising My Voice helps women who were justice impacted to not only feel empowered, but to heal, to gain confidence, and to no longer be defined by their past. But one of the main things that is so important about Raising My Voice is to go out into the world and to change the stigma, to have a call of action, to have the audience to get involved. There's many ways that y'all can get involved, and I have been so blessed to not only come alongside these women and to be a part of their healing process, but to also cultivate wonderful friendships. And I have done that with Christin Day, and I'm so honored to be here today to not only share with her in this experience of her sharing her story, but also to be alongside her while she has Lolo and Lolo's partner Gabby here this morning with us. I'm so grateful that you both are here this morning. And so I want to welcome Christin Day. Christin Day, will you please share your story?
Hi, my name is Christin Day. I am a woman in long-term recovery. And when I say I'm in long-term recovery, it means that I live free from alcohol and drugs and have continuous sobriety since November 22nd, 2017. But recovery is more than just using. It's about building a new way of life, grounded in faith, honesty, accountability, and healing. Addiction is often described as an allergy of the body and an obsession of the mind. For me, that means if I pick up one drink or one drug, my body reacts with a compulsion to want more, while my mind convinces me it's okay, even when it destroys everything. And that's why recovery isn't something I graduate from. It's a lifelong journey. Long-term recovery is the freedom to live present, to grow, to serve others one day at a time. But let me be real with you. I didn't just wake up one day and decide I want to change my life. No, I had to lose everything before I got to that point. I want to share my story with you not because I'm proud of where I was, but because someone here needs to know you are not too far gone. I didn't grow up thinking I would become a drug addict, but life had other plans. There was instability, there was trauma, there was pain I didn't know how to deal with. Eventually, drugs became my escape, my solution. At first, I thought I had control, but long before, meth and heroin had completely control of me. And when I say I lost everything, I mean everything. My dignity, my freedom, my relationships. And when I lost my dignity, I meant I lost myself. I did things I swore I would never do, stealing, lying, manipulating, just to survive and get that next high. I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize the woman staring back. That shame, that deep emptiness was almost heavier than my addiction itself. I still remember the day that the court terminated my parental rights. It felt like somebody had ripped my heart out of my chest. I loved her so much, but I couldn't be the mom that she needed. That day, I thought my story was over. You would think that that moment would have been my wake-up call, but it wasn't. Instead, I went deeper into my darkness, and I relapsed for 1.5 years. I was running with the wrong crowd, stuck in an abusive relationship, and every day I woke up hating myself. I thought, this is just who I am now. In October of 2017, I got arrested and was put on probation. People ask me all the time, what was different this time? The truth is, something shifted inside of me. Sitting in that jail cell, dope sick, I heard a whisper in my spirit, and I believe it was God. He said, Christin, if you don't change, you're going to die like this. That wasn't just a thought, that was a spiritual wake-up call. That was the moment I surrendered to a point. On November 21st, I hit a breaking point, and I had picked up the phone and called my family. I could barely speak through the tears, and I said, I'm done, and I cannot live like this anymore. I'm ready to leave the drugs, this abusive relationship for good. I told them that if you didn't come, he was going to kill me and you would have to verify my body in the morgue. My family came immediately. That was one of the hardest calls of my life, but it was also the moment everything started to change. I had fully surrendered. The next day, I began my journey of recovery, but this time it was different. When I jumped back into recovery, I knew exactly what I needed to do. And let me tell you, I wasn't doing it for DCS. I wasn't doing it to make my family happy. I wasn't even doing it to get my daughter back. For the first time in my life, I was doing it for me. And here's the truth. If you're trying to get sober for your kids or your family, it won't last. I know, because I tried that. I wanted to prove something to the courts, to DCS, to my family, but the second they disappointed me or the second I felt rejected, I had an excuse to go back to drugs. Real change only happens when I said I'm doing this for me and I want to live. That's when the foundation was strong enough to build on. I started going to meetings, I got a sponsor, and I worked the steps thoroughly, honestly, to the best of my ability. And when I say I worked the steps thoroughly and honestly, I mean I stopped pretending. I didn't just write down the easy stuff. I put the ugly truth to paper. I admitted I swore I'd take things to my grave. I confessed my resentments, my fears, and harms I caused. And in doing so, I found freedom. Honesty is the key. It's like surgery for the soul. If you only cut halfway, the infection stays. You have to cut deep enough to heal. Little by little, my life started to change. I began slowly rebuilding a relationship with my daughter. And although it's not perfect, she still keeps me at arm's length, and I know that comes from fear. She saw me choose men and drugs over her, and those scars don't heal overnight. But today, I get to show up for her, and that's what matters. I also started building a relationship with my other 2 children that I did not raise, and that's nothing but God's grace. In 2019, God placed an amazing man in my life, a real man, a man who loved me for me and saw my worth. He was literally my knight in shining armor. We fell in love, we moved in together. In October of 2019, we moved in together, sorry. When I say I met a real man, I mean someone who didn't try to fix me or use me. He respected me. He was patient with me. He had integrity. His words and actions matched. Ladies, hear me. A real man doesn't manipulate, doesn't abuse, and doesn't keep you small. A real man lifts you up and sees your worth and points you back to God. That same month, we got a call that his little boy, 3 years old, was in DCS custody, and we had the opportunity to get him. By January 2020, we had full custody, and let me tell you, that's when life really changed all over again. I had learned to live without the drugs and alcohol, but now I had to learn how to be the mom that way God intended me to be. In 2022, God gave us another blessing, and we had the opportunity to get my husband's daughter to come live with us. So here I am, a woman who once couldn't raise her own kids, now raising somebody else's kids. And I'm gonna be honest with you, in 2023, I had to seek outside therapy because the guilt and shame started eating me alive. I kept asking myself, how can I raise somebody else's kids when I couldn't even raise my own? Therapy taught me something that I didn't know how to accept. I can't change the past, but I can show up today. It taught me that my failures as a mother don't disqualify me for being a good mom now. It taught me that love is not biologically, it's consistency, presence, and healing. My kids, both biologically and bonus, don't just need me sober, they need me whole. Therapy gave me the tools to be the mom. God was using me in ways I never imagined. Today, I am a wife, a mother, the communications and outreach manager for one of the largest treatment centers in the Southwest. And I get to walk back into the same jail that I sat in only This time I walk in free, bringing hope to people who feel hopeless just like I did. God has restored so much in my life. He is still restoring. My kids are in my life. My marriage is strong, my family is whole, and most importantly, I wake up every day knowing who I am. I know my worth and I charge tax. If you hear nothing from me today, hear this. You are never too far gone. I was homeless, addicted, hopeless, and had lost my children. I thought my story was over, but God had a plan. He can take the messiest, most broken story and turn it into something beautiful. If you're struggling right now, don't give up. Your past does not define your future. There is hope. There is help, and there is a better way. I am living proof. For those who are unfamiliar, the 12 steps are a spiritual program of action. These are not about rules, they're about transformation. They start from admitting powerlessness and end with helping others. In between, they teach us how to clean house, make amends, and build a relationship with the God of our understanding. Relationships in recovery look different too. They're not built on using together. They're built on honesty, accountability, and growth. Instead of isolation, we build connection. Instead of shame, we build trust. And that's how we stay free. Before I close, I want to challenge you to get involved. If you care about recovery, we need you. We need more treatment beds so people aren't stuck on waiting lists. We need mentors and sponsors because connection saves lives. We need more community support, volunteers, donations, and advocacy. Don't just cheer us on from the sidelines. Step in and be the difference. If you walk this road and you're in recovery, share your story because someone needs to hear your voice. If you've never struggled but you care, volunteer, mentor, donate, and just show up because the fight is bigger than all of us. We need all people willing to step in to the gap and bring hope to those who feel hopeless. Because I believe with everything in me, the opposite of addiction is not just sobriety, it's connection. Together we can change lives, together we can break the cycle, and together we can show the world that no one is too far gone. Thank you.